already halfway done, and I see a
Oh my
Brom
God.
on the side of OMG.
Well, I see a Zeri on Ruler, and I'm getting excited because we haven't seen a Zeri in a very, very, very long time. I think the last team that actually played Zeri was AL, and it didn't go well. They lost both games. So in Ruler we trust to help us a little bit with our win rate onto the Zeri. Now, of course, we've got double jungle bans on 4 and 5 from the side of OMG, and Jax is going to be the choice right here. Whether it goes up top lane or in the jungle remains to be seen. It is a flex between the two.
Yeah, it is. And we'll see now where they want to go for this, but OMG already rocking back into the Renekton, and this is looking very similar drafts to 2023 spring, just the Renekton, the Ahri. Smolder is a new addition, that's for sure, but we'll see how they end up kind of going for it if the Ahri is locked in here. But I do like seeing the Ahri kind of like back into the meta a little bit, of course. I'm sure Nymera is the exact same, as that is going to be locked in here for Angel.
Yes, he was given a buff. She has a bit more HP and also a little bit more damage now. Which, if you ask me, it wasn't needed, but hey, hey, I'll make the rules here. So I'm glad to see her back in the meta because it does open up a lot of these playmaking mid-jungle duels that we do see. And she has been paired up with the Viego, and taking it from Coco's Viego in the previous game, you could make a lot happen on the map, having the Ahri right there, having the extra charm, the extra mobility after level 6.
Got themselves locked and loaded. That's going to be the Aatrox, so it is confirmed to be a Jax in that jungle role.
They have Ruler, they have Yagao, they have Kanavi, they have Flandre. They will out-team fight you later on in the game. So not having this opening in the early game and going towards the Smolder in the bot lane and allowing Ruler to become this huge threat with the Zeri could be very detrimental for the game later on. However, you do have in your possession that Ahri Viego duo that you can use for skirmishes around the map, especially with the Renekton topside as well. Now that some Renekton buffs have come through too. So I really like that OMG have chosen to scale through the bot side and play towards the top side of the map a little bit more proactively.
We'll see what they end up rolling with for the moment. They are happy to just kind of keep everything nice and calm in the early stages, or rather in the beginning of the game. Don't really expect them to go for anything there. The Renekton will be going to Cube, and Cube has played Renekton for years. Like, this is not a surprising pick to see from this man. And I mean, the Renekton, I mean, the best way I always put it is, I'm going to see a little bit of damage. Kind of throw him back and not really dealing with much else. But if the... Basically, if the Renekton's meta, LPL's picking it. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's just how it is and how it always is. Even when he's not meta, they're still kind of picking it.
Well, the thing is, you said that Cube really likes to play Renekton, and I've got a fun game for you. So, his Renekton games are 82. He's got 82 career-wide Renekton games. The second champion under that is 39.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He's got an insane amount of Renekton games, and his win rate is still positive. He's 53% win rate. So you could say he is a Renekton enjoyer. So seeing the champion that you really love to play and you have played so long competitively get the few buffs that he did receive through this patch, I guess it just makes you grin.
Yeah, well, we have a little stat there popping up on the bottom of the screen. Yagao and Kanavi, 300 total games in the LPL together. They may not be the most feared duo in the world of mid-jungles, but they are a long-standing one. They have a huge story within themselves. And it's great to see just kind of a jungle-mid combination last so long.
Absolutely, and I feel like for Kanavi, at least for me, when I was doing a lot of my jungle research, I found him to be one of the most clever pathing junglers in the entire world. Not just when it comes to the LPL. The way he moves around the jungle, the pathings that he breaks on purpose to make plays around the map, the way that he ends up getting away with it because he doesn't lose much because of the pattern that he just thought out in literally 2 seconds from something happening on the map. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and honestly, if you are studying jungle, I feel like Kanavi is a very, very good example to watch to learn how to path around certain situations.
Speaking of pathing, XiaoFang finds himself a little bit of a Scryer's Bloom to see if he can check out where this Kanavi has gone. Whoa, good damage onto Angel. One more auto. He flashes underneath the tower, though. Oh, and that's a great trade for Angel. Given how that started, I did not think he would get the 1-for-1.
That was a lovely charm right there. I wonder if Yagao misplayed his W and didn't end up dodging. But this is a flash TP from both sides. So it's worse for Nico because in 2 levels time, Angel will have his ultimate. So he's not going to be as susceptible to getting ganked due to the mobility the ultimate provides to Ari. But on the side of Yagao, he is pretty much a sitting duck on the Nico, so expect these mid laners to see a little bit of attention coming up, especially with all the grabs and the supports roaming towards the top side of the map. That E was beautiful connecting. Oh, he had already used that, and just as the shadow, sort of the duplicate rather, of the W from Nico expires, this is where the taunt hits from Angel. Very well played for him to trade 1-for-1 in this situation.
Oh, hooking an ignite down onto Abel. Trying to trade it back onto Missing, but I think they're
XiaoFang is here.
Happy to take that trade for the moment. Heal comes out from the Braum, the flash for flash, as everyone tries to pack themselves away. Even a cleanse to come out from Ruler. They recognize XiaoFang was still in the area, and this is obviously, yeah, this is well, I mean, it's awful for JDG's bot lane because look at the minimap, like there was no jungler, he had just shown mid, so they knew that they could push this in and lose this massive wave. Ruler just reset as well, so this is a straight up just disadvantage now for the side of JDG.
It's also great to see putting some pressure down on the side of Ruler because we said, hey, you're not just going to let Ruler scale into the late game onto a Zeri when we have seen what Zeris can do. We literally went through the Zeri meta and we're like, please, no more. We don't want any more pentakills. This was the meta with the most pentakills on the same champion in a very, very long time, and it was all due to Zeri. So definitely leaving a champion just like that in the hands of Ruler to free scale would be a big problem later on for you, but Abel and Ppgod have actually managed it. An Angel, he's still level 5. He might end up going down. No flash this time.
XiaoFang comes to his rescue, and XiaoFang's doing a decent amount of damage himself, so Yagao is going to have to take a reset as well. Flash forward, he will not be allowed to reset on his own terms. And OMG starting this game off feisty. They're bringing the fight to JDG.
Oh, if I was Yagao, I'd be a little bit salty for that. That was definitely a kill, but Angel uses his spells to kill the wave to level up, and he doesn't die in that auto attack. Just as the auto attack lands, he gets that level up, that level 6 that gives him the extra HP to survive the auto attack from Yagao. So unfortunate for Yagao because right now he's taken 2 really good trades into Angel that have unfortunately ended up in Yagao dead.
That's 2 deaths now for Yagao. He is not having the best of times. He is being aggressive though, and he's being purposely aggressive, so it's just part and parcel with the way you play sometimes. As we can see there that the trying to get themselves a bit of damage onto this. They've got 2 of the Void Grubs, and they will forfeit the final one, so 2-1 in Void Grubs in favor of JDG, but 2-1 in kills in favor of OMG. Missing takes a fair bit of chunk from Angel. He won't be doing a significant amount of damage for the moment. He did rush the Mercury Treads, so that if he does get CC'd, he will have some kind of survivability. This game is already starting to get a bit tentative. It's not the same, like, I mean, JDG are one of our slowest teams in the league. Like, they are, I think, #1 by a while. I think their average game time is like 36 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. Whereas OMG, they're one of our faster ones, and it just feels like OMG are kind of forcing JDG to play their style.
But this is exactly what you want when you go up against JDG. You put them under pressure in the early game, you force them to fall behind and see if they can come back from that. Now, traditionally JDG does manage to somehow pull themselves out of it through stellar team fighting, but how much are you willing to bleed until you make a comeback? Right here, OMG are making a pretty good case for themselves. About 5,000 gold ahead. They do have the first dragon as well, which does win you a lot of time in these games, especially when you stack them up. Maybe you get the soul early on as well, but the tops of the map has played extremely aggressively through the area and through these trades with Angel and Yagao, but also to commend the bot lane for taking that 3v3 onto Ruler and Missing.
For now, OMG just happy to keep the Smolder stacking up. Gonna be rushing towards that Divine Sunderer. And, or sorry, Spear of Shoja, not Divine Sunderer, excuse me. Getting up that
That's
kind of
not a very
stacked.
convincing Zeri.
Yeah. Not the most convincing.
That was not a very convincing Zeri, yeah.
Not the most convincing, but sometimes you never know. I've noticed that sometimes more often than not, you just kind of get used to it. You think, see, it's like in the laning phase, you're normally, you're counting the minions, you're all this kind of stuff. You're making sure you know, oh, well, the real Nautilus went bot side. I clearly don't need to go up towards this top lane. But then as the game goes on, your brain starts to get lazy and you start to go, oh, look, there's this, there's that. And it doesn't necessarily mean you get the right thing. So this, for the moment, is still it's a habit you can see most Nico players going into. And of course, Yagao was one of our original kind of Nico, when Nico got the rework, was one of the original best, if I will, just getting some great pop blossoms off and some really creative ways of putting themselves out around the map. So I haven't seen many people go for the wait as a pop, a Scryer's Bloom or as a plant and try and kill somebody. But we'll need to see if Yagao brings it back as we see it engage in this bot side. Ruler is jumping straight in on top of him, but the Ghost was popped. They're going to try and get the Pop Blossom down here onto the Braum, and they will kill him off. Kanavi picks up that kill. So, in the chaos of everything, Viego went up towards the top side, and JDG were the one to pick up the kills. Ruler thinking about a dive on bot side, but I don't think he can get this.
He can't get this, but what they can do is zone Abel off of his own tower. They are bringing Kanavi towards the bottom of the map. They're bringing Missing towards the bottom of the map. Braum is nowhere near, and Ari had to TP mid, so Abel is a little bit exposed here. He walked up.
He flashes, but he will fall down. But he'll take a kill before he does. So 1 for 1, and again, these are the small little things that change the dynamic of the game. OMG should have had several people die with just JDG taking advantage. They haven't been able to get the kills to stick.
Absolutely, and I feel like for Abel that was a little bit disrespectful as well. You don't have any vision on your side of the map. You know that Viego is still with the top side. You don't have your support anywhere near you because Ppgod was on a reset, so it looked a little bit weird for him not only to stay under tower, but to even walk further up to try and catch up the wave. Abel loses both of his summoners right now, and in 2 minutes time there is this dragon coming up. And JDG would very much love to just walk up and stop the streak on the dragons from OMG, and Abel not having both the summers might just give JDG what they need to take this one.
It's a very high likelihood as well that OMG, or any team really, get themselves a much more favorable soul. You do have the, the Ken Soul and of course the Cloud Dragon already taken, so this is definitely a positive for the side of whichever one gets it. You could get an Infernal, potentially. Obviously a Mountain as well. Very, very positive. But for now, both teams just happy with the way things are going. XiaoFang going to take away the grubs and get himself and his team up to 4. And try and make sure that his chicken nuggets don't get stolen either way. So this is a very scrappy start to the game. I've not really kind of seen this from JDG. Normally it's slow, methodical, get Ruler up to a point of power, let him get to get up to first item or two and then take over a team fight. But the OMG style of play has forced JDG to be a bit more creative, a bit more aggressive and proactive in how they played the game.
Yeah, and I'm loving this. You saw that they had Abel and Ruler down in the bot lane, 1 versus 1. Ruler instantly jumps him. Angel is taking the pressure to Yagao. Yagao is instantly replying to this. You see that Missing and Ppgod have been all over the map for the entire time. And like, Kanavi and XiaoFang are trying to like catch up with wherever the supports are and trying to support whichever side of the map is sort of under attack. And they're doing pretty fantastic on that. So both teams are exactly dead even when it comes to gold. Oh, can you count? Can you count? Oh,
can you count? They can count. That's the positive thing here, as we see there. Heal comes out from the Summoner Spellbook of Angel. Didn't even notice that, to be perfectly honest, that he had taken that Summoner, or that Ruin, I should say. That keeps him a little bit of extra HP, and of course the movement speed as well. Don't tell Nymera. But is going to pick up his first item there, goes for the Malignants, and right now, it's OMG who have priority around this dragon for the moment. The resets came in a little late for the mid and jungle of JDG. They're not going to be in position to try and contest this.
Here. Yeah, absolutely. Ruler doesn't have an item right here. You see that Yagao is just on a reset. There is no teleport. Kanavi still was the top side of the map. They're going to let this one go. As you mentioned, they do want Ruler on 1 or 2 items. Well, 2 items would be very efficient to try and fight with Zeri if they want to play this one. But we also have to keep the timer, because it used to be a timer for Kassadin back in the day. But right now, there's a timer for Smolder, and you start counting down to his stacks. 125 is his first benchmark, but 225 is where he actually gets that small execute. And for every 40 stacks, it goes up by 1% on that execute. So the more that Abel gets to stack, the more threatening he will be later on in the fights.
He's on 99 for the moment, so almost halfway there. And as I said, the more he stacks, the more he gets it. There's 100. It's going to force Kanavi to jump over the wall. Not really sure what JDG are hoping to find here. There's no dragon to be taken. It is a Hex Soul on the Rifts. Very, very powerful. And OMG starting to really feel like they're getting comfortable with this game. No massive gold lead for the moment. The CS is basically even across the board. Static Shiv finally finished up for Ruler as they look to try and just get that Energizer build going for themselves on the Zeri. Haven't not seen the Zeri in a very long time, and to most of people's celebrations, as it is a champion that is, as you said, has a lot of pentakills. Does feel a little mindless and sometimes. So I wonder who gets more, the champion which has a literal built-in pentakill creator, or the champion whose mobility is so broken they can just get pentakills.
Okay, well, we'll get to find out surely very soon into this game. The game is not breaking open anytime soon unless teams choose to fight, and so far it feels like OMG is taking the fight over to JDG, and JDG do not want to take it. They are letting go of all these dragons. They don't care about contesting right now. They know that their item breakpoints are extremely pivotal to them winning these fights, therefore they don't want to fight it yet. They have put Cube into Yagao on the bot side of the map. There is TP onto Yagao.
Yeah, Angel does get back over the wall with a flash and a dash, so he's not going to be taken out just yet. There's going to be Mom coming in to see if she can help out. There's going to be the smite down on from JDG to confirm the Rift Elbow. Can they collect it? Ruler flashes over the wall. This is a disaster here for JDG. OMG are tearing them apart as the triple kill comes in for the Viego, and he is just absolutely massive. Quadra kill for XiaoFang, and OMG destroy JDG in a 5v5.
XiaoFang went massive on this team fight, and what is it with Viegos today? They have been absolutely popping off. XiaoFang put in a masterclass on how to play the champion, and honestly, I am very surprised. We actually commended JDG. We're like, OMG are taking the fight to JDG, but JDG are being very patient. They're waiting for Ruler to get his second, third item, and then they'll start fighting. However, they're starting this fight by engaging onto an Ari who's completely mobile. He's going to flash away, and he still has all three of his ultimates available. Abel is actually on the side lane here, being able to put down auto after auto after auto, and no one is keeping track onto this Viego. He's picking up every single champion, and again, every time there's a Viego in the game, what I really love to do is see sort of the value of the souls of the champions you're picking up and how much you can follow up with them. If you think of the Nautilus that is the most likely champion to die first since he is engaging in your face, it's massive value to pick up a Nautilus soul because you can re-engage a fight. You're looking at the Nico, the same with E. You're looking at Jax, the same with Jax. There's so much value in taking these souls and continuing these fights through onto the Viego. So not only is he super far ahead, but he has a pretty good value in terms of the pick itself.
JDG, they need to try and stop the bleeding right now because they are just letting Abel stack up bit by bit, little by little, already building up towards that second item. Actually went for the Essence Reaver first rather than the Spear of Shojin, but it's going to get a little bit of damage onto this mid lane, but that's about it. Minute till Dragon spawns. That would put Hex Soul here for OMG, and they're creating pressure around the map, knowing that they have a Renekton as well. Massive priority in this mid game, and a 5-0 Viego. XiaoFang is disgustingly fed, and he will be an issue if they don't deal with him quickly.
Oh, Sterox also completed for XiaoFang as well. That is 2 items, and one of them helps him survive through the fights quite a bit. He's going to be a huge, huge problem. You see Yagao straight to base, purchases that Seeker's Arm Guard, gives him a little bit of armor, very tiny bit of armor, but technically his purchase, of course, for that stopwatch that he has inbuilt. But then you are kind of stuck on this component that costs 1,600 gold. There's only one use until you get Hourglass. They have caught XiaoFang. He does have ultimate.
It's an ultimate down, but it did cost them the Ignite and the Nautilus ult. It is right before Dragon. XiaoFang is still sticking around for the moment. They have got decent vision control, though, from the side of JDG. They haven't actually finished kind of contesting any of this right now. They have to deal with Abel just pushing in that mid lane as well. The Smolder is becoming a bit of an issue. Only about, I think it's about 160 stacks, somewhere around there. But now the Dragon is being started. I don't know if you can fight this.
OMG want to take this fight. Reminder, there is no ultimate on XiaoFang, so someone else is going to have to do the job for him. He cannot be tanking all these ultimates anymore. No ultimate onto Nautilus is huge, but Yagao has just entered the fray. There is no flash into the Nico. They got Cube.
They got Cube, but I don't know if that's the one you want. Here comes Mom to try and take this fight back down towards JDG. They do no damage to Ppgod. And now Flandre, though, is massive. He's the raid boss we always see. He needs to get another few Qs, but you can see Abel just sticking around, trying to be a nuisance, but he hasn't got the damage. JDG, they almost looked like they were going to lose that fight, but they come back out on top, get 3 kills, get their Dragon, they reset the map.
Yeah, it turns out not having that ultimate onto the Viego really hurt you in this particular fight. There were so many members of JDG on super low HP bars, and XiaoFang just couldn't get in there to finish the job. So much damage coming out of the Ari, but no one there to finish it off. And missing C's Cube right there was a little bit questionable. He's like, I'm going in onto the Renekton, guys. He instantly dies right there, and XiaoFang cannot just get in to grab the soul. No ultimate or XiaoFang as well. He pretty much is a spectator, and just when you think every single time that the Aatrox is dead, every single time you see that HP bar go back up to full. Flandre on the edge of death right there, gets bailed out by the healing inbuilt on his abilities, and that was a very close fight for JDG. Again, that was a Viego ult diff.
Yep, that was a Viego ult diff. I will say Flandre healing diff as well, just because I think he was on single digits and then just gained back like 200-300, which is kind of disgusting. They're not going to have the fastest smolder stacking in the world, but 186 is definitely not a bad mark to be at 20 minutes. We wait to see now where JDG want to go. They're keeping the gold even. OMG are not out of it just yet. They did lose that fight, but they're still a little bit ahead. They just need to make sure they're not getting caught out, like you said, by XiaoFang. Losing that ultimate, it meant that he couldn't be as aggressive in those fights.
Does have it back up now, and the flash is up as well. Next objective, of course, is going to be in 3.5 minutes, which is usually where JDG like to pick up their fights. But OMG have been having this tendency of, we don't care, we just want to fight you right now. We don't want to let Ruler scale. We don't want to let Ruler get to 3 and 4 items. We know what he can do onto the Zeri, and having this pairing with Ari plus Viego, who have yet to die. This Ari death is literally from minute 3, very early on into the game. They're both very powerful, they're both on 2 items, and they can literally assassinate the backline of JDG if they find the opening to very mobile on the Ari, but also the Viego too. They're looking for an opening. Again, OMG will just A-ram it down and look for a fight, even when there's no objective to be had on the map.
Yeah, they are big on the A-rams right now. I will say, as much as you're absolutely correct, that of all this mobility, of all this damage to jump on the carries, it's Ruler. It's Ruler on Zeri, and it just feels like it's almost an unfair advantage for him because he just has that mobility. Like, he didn't even lose his flash or his cleanse in that last fight. He still has them fresh and ready to go. Yeah, like it's just
turn nameplates on. Okay.
Yeah, you have to turn them on. So it is still someone, if not, you know, fair enough, we all know Faker is the greatest of all time, but I think Ruler is definitely in the top 2. And that is just something that he has to do. I would love to see him kind of do something here. This JDG roster, they're jumping in on top of Angel, who does lose his ultimate. Not going to have that now for a potential Baron contest, but should have it back for this Dragon in 2 minutes' time. And where are we going with this? Yagao has to pop himself into Zhonya's. Otherwise, that charm was going to bring him down, and that was going to be the end of that fight.
But I think this is it. I don't think you can pressure anymore with OMG. Not having that ultimate on Ari is huge, and JDG can't take the fight onto you. Very nice route from Yagao. Ppgod is going to tank a lot of damage. JDG are flirting with the idea of, hey, we might get a pick right here.
I get the flash. Don't get the pick just yet. More flashes being burned.
Another flash.
So, yeah, Angel lost his flash in favor of Yagao's.
Hold on. What is happening? There is no objective on the map. We do have Dragon in 1 minute, but these mid lane shenanigans have been happening the entire game. JDG are like, listen, we do not want to be a part of what you're doing, OMG. But they kind of have to, because if OMG are piling up 5 members in the mid lane, pushing down your mid lane tier 1 tower, you somehow have to reply. JDG are sticking around for too long. You lose your Seeker's Armor Guard on Yagao. You lose your Flash, 2 very important tools, because the next Dragon is coming up literally in 40 seconds, and you're gonna have neither on the Nico, and that's really huge. XiaoFang is literally rubbing his hands right now on Yagao not having neither of these 2.
Having the Summoner Spellbook as well for Angel means that exhaust could be absolutely massive going into Ruler. We'll see if JDG want to contest this. It looks like they're happy to just reset, let this Dragon go. Don't need to go for anything, as you mentioned. They've lost just too many Summoners. Flashes from Flandre and Yagao. Just not really positioned. They do get back to get a second item here onto their Jax. For now, I just feel like it's just not really that big of a... Well, it might be contestable now. That Void Staff is kind of huge to be picking up. And we'll see what this Nico can do. They are going to go forward, look to try and engage as Angel with his old back, hoping to make this one work. Missing, not quite going to go down. The Pop Blossom gets down XiaoFang as Cube is in the middle of everybody. They're trying to burn him down. The Smolder is burning out these health bars, but the Zeri is doing just as well. And backing everybody up, flash forward from Abel! Gets the execute down, triple kill here for the Smolder, and OMG can turn back for the Dragon after a 1 fight.
Abel absolutely unchecked for the entirety of this team fight. JDG stepped too far forward. Angel is like, I don't care who's in front of me, if it's missing, if it's Kanavi. That's the first person that walks up, I'm just gonna try and get a taunt onto them, which is exactly what happened. Angel sees the Nautilus and ends up getting that taunt onto the Nautilus. They all pile up, and the entirety of JDG is so fixated on not allowing any resets to come through the Viego, and that was very well done as well. Gets seized by the Nautilus, and XiaoFang literally melts in this team fight by Yagao and Ruler, but then Abel gets to be completely unchecked. That Braum is doing wonders for the front line, not allowing anyone to get onto that Dragon, and the flash forward from Abel steals the deal onto Ruler as well, which also allows them to secure Soul Point for themselves.
OMG in a good spot right now to maybe take this serious, at least this game.
What's happening today?
I don't know. It's a banger day. They called it in the broadcast yesterday. It's a very, very solid day as we can have a look down. Abel, 3 items, got that rapid fire cannon and just pumping out damage. The Smolder is an issue to say the least. Coming into this, I do believe that Ruler's going towards that Immortal Shield Bow to try and defend himself against some kind of an engage, but so many Summoners bone in that last one. And the fact that OMG won that fight after the fact that XiaoFang died and didn't get any resets just shows you how scary they can be if they do get the resets, if they do get themselves to a point where XiaoFang is able to rip through and get those cooldowns off of all the dead souls.
I feel like JDG have way too many things to be wary of, because there's resets on Viego, there's resets on Ari. Abel cannot be left unchecked, but you also have a Braum and you're playing triple melee with Nautilus, Jax, and Aatrox into a Braum, which is a little bit problematic, and then you leave completely out of the equation the Renekton that has been zoning Ruler and Yagao out of these fights over and over again. I think OMG have a pretty solid composition right here, and they've got the kills on the right members to try and close this one out. And it would be huge for them, sitting 5 and 4 in the standings, beating the JDG that a lot of teams have fumbled trying to do so. Would be huge for them in their playoffs run.
Absolutely. The only team to beat JDG so far this split has been BLG, which again, not exactly a bad thing or is a terrible thing to have in a season, but it is only game 1 of this best of 3, so we gotta wait to see if one OMG can bring it back or bring it forward and get themselves the win, or if JDG do what they do so well and bring us to the late game and let Ruler be Ruler. So we'll see. Looks like he's gonna go reset now, pick up his Immortal Shield Bow. Has that item picked up for him now, so that is, again, more sustainability, more survivability in these fights.
I find this so hilarious that OMG has actually forced JDG to play their game. It feels like OMG are always grouping mid lane, they're always ready to engage on you, they're always ready to fight you. They don't care who steps up, whoever it is it the Nautilus with a shield? Who cares? Just engage onto the Nautilus, we don't care. And JDG are trying to adapt to this playstyle, but also grouping everywhere they go on the map as well. They have double TPs, they don't care about pushing side lanes, they're playing the 5v5.
They're looking for something. They'll get Angel's ultimate and they'll get Smolders. Not a huge amount of follow-up after the fact, so That's 2 big ultimates down. Nothing really to show from it from the side of OMG. They will have them back in 2 minutes' time, but that's a great charm. And that's a good kill. Missing now dead. They're flashing forward because they got the Viego reset. He has the hooks to come down. Kanavi needs to get away from this, but the flash charm is perfect. Angel has been immaculate with these engages, keeping OMG honest, keeping them there in this game. Yagao looking for Angel, but won't land Tangle Barbs, and that's going to be the Dragon. I mean, I don't know, or Baron, excuse me. I don't even think you can even try and defend this.
Absolutely not. Kanavi is on his way out. He's sprinting as fast as he can from the bot side of the map towards there. They know Kanavi is coming, and Yagao and Ruler are now pretty good HP bars right now. Missing just spawn 2. Cube is trying.
They're gonna try Yagao. He's got the pop blocks up, and he gets the double kill. XiaoFang, however, gets himself a reset, and the Smolder's still alive. They're seeing if they can jump onto Ruler, who has cleanse, who has flash, and who has an escape out. JDG do not lose the Baron. They get 2 kills. They lose 2 more on the side of this one, so it's so close. But OMG are starting to eke ahead.
And again, I cannot stress enough the value of Viego and the souls he picks up this fight. The first fight where Angel engages, we're gonna see the replay right now. Ppgod and Angel are stuck in this choke point, but it's not very easy to pin down the Ari. They try to go in, they don't hit anything, and then they disperse, and then suddenly hits another charm onto Missing, who's eaten a lot of them, by the way, this game, and they end up burning him down. Do you know what happens when Nautilus ends up dying? He plays for the other team, and you definitely do not want this. You see XiaoFang instantly flash hooked forward with the Nautilus, and that was a fantastic follow-up. And what happens later on in the Baron? Yagao gets a massive ultimate, but it doesn't really matter here, because all eyes on XiaoFang's Viego. He'll get the reset onto Kanavi's Jax, and he gets the follow-up straight onto Yagao. The value of the souls, I'll never stop talking about this, is massive, but we gotta have Soul.
This is Soul, here we go. The ult comes down from the Smolder, but it's stolen away. JDG get themselves a Dragon. Can they fight after this one? The Pop Blossom goes up, but look at Smolder. He's still so big. There's a double kill. Not quite able to get the triple, but they are shredding through JDG right now. Kanavi will only stand for a couple more seconds. Yes, you get the Dragon as JDG, but a triple kill for Abel and the ace for OMG.
Incredible performance right here for OMG. They're solidifying themselves. They're showing that they are capable of making it towards the top rankings. They're going to try. There are 30 seconds on most champions on the side of JDG. They've got Smolder. They've got every single person alive. Ppgod is going to back off here. It's just going to be an inhibitor. We did get excited. You know what? I've been watching a lot of LPL, and Lyric gets very excited when it's nearly record time for the shortest game of the season. He says it every single time. He's like, oh, 20 minutes. It's going to be record time. And you know what teams do? They literally just turn around and leave. It's like they hear him say it. Back onto this Dragon fight, of course. Look at Angel. He has a fantastic flank on the side right there. Tries to get something done, but Cube is such a huge problem. They cannot break through this Renekton, and we're gonna go back to live because Angel is taking the fight onto Yagao once again while his team is doing Baron. Not gonna get him this time, and Angel might be in trouble because that's not mana.
It's no mana. He is trying to go move away from it. They will pop down the ultimates. They will get out with all 5 Baron buffs, but that was a little moment there. Yagao did lose the stopwatch, or excuse me, the Zonias, but he'll have that back in no time whatsoever. And I mean, I don't blame Angel for going this. 18 stacks on the Medjais, 3, 1, and 12. And as much as the Smolder has been nice, it really has been everything has been about the engages coming out from Angel. Angel's engages have been honestly exceptional, and they really are kind of pushing for more and more pressure here. Kanavi will get out. With a Baron now available here for the side of JDG, or sorry, for OMG, I mean, this feels like it's going to be OMG's game to lose. We look at the replay there, he's just waiting for someone to come through the gate. And he grabs a perfect charm off the back of it as well.
Absolutely, right here, of course, Angel runs out of mana, doesn't have any more in his kit, but OMG are pushing down double lanes. With Baroned up minions, Angel is going to drive an entire wave through that mid lane. He is going to be with super minion as well, so JDG need to send somebody to reply to that. That charm is going to miss. That is very crucial. This is a few more seconds that JDG Can't afford to stay underneath the tower. Angel is going to push yet another wave. They're waiting for the Superman wave in the mid lane to try and sync up, but it's not going to quite be the case. And JDG might as well be able to defend this tower. Again, Angel, no ultimate here, but look at the charms. The charms of him have been telling on these team fights. They have been starting these team fights. They've been so pivotal, so important. Missing!
Oh, missing! He's burning! He's not quite going down, though. He will survive, but does he have enough time to heal and get back before this next wave? I think he does. But I think there's going to be just too much damage being thrown into this, so despite not getting the kill, they will break open another inhibitor. This is all the pressure in the world for OMG, but it's not worth not if you can't win a fight. Here we go. Abel gets the first kill as the Nautilus goes in and immediately dies. Abel still on the backside, gets jumped by the Pop Blossom, but there's no follow-up. There's no one to put down the rest of the damage, and the rest of JDG just cannot do it, but Ruler just isn't big enough. Kanavi just jumping away. They'll flash in, they'll dash in, they'll make sure that he is going to be as low on health as he possibly can be, but 1v5, it's OMG to win 1-0.
What a clinic coming out of OMG. We couldn't stress enough how JDG are so incredible at team fighting, and they love going late game. They're a little bit passive in the early game, but it's fine because the team fighting makes up for everything that they don't do in the early game. And you know what OMG did? They A-rammed the heck out of JDG. They forced JDG to play a playstyle that they did not want to, and OMG played it better because they thrive in chaos. I saw A-ram for the entirety of the game. Support being mid lane when they don't even need to be mid lane. You leave Smolder down in the bot lane. Your support roaming mid allows for the 1v1 down in the bot lane, allows for Smolder to actually scale up to his 225 stacks as fast as possible, which is what happened to Abel. And they just completely cleaned up house. And honestly, thumbs up to Abel because his Ahri was so clean.
Yeah, oh, so good. We are a little bit behind, though. We are going to send it to a quick break, and when we return, we're going to see how much we can catch up with our second game of the